Thanks for tuning to the Ontario Reshard show. In regards to today's special guest, he's a force uh, entertainer who delivers a powerful soul pop sound. His conversation is hope, and his power is love. We play several of his songs, such as "Hit the Road," feature modern music, "Love Crazy," "Way of the World," "Joy in the Battle," and his latest single, "I Pray for You," which is uh, my number one favorite right now under the catalog. So we're gonna have a very special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Major.
Woo! And the crowd goes wild, but I say, no, 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 stop, stop. All glory to God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely honored to have you on, good brother, and thank you for sharing your time with us. And of course, we won't keep you long, so because I know you're a very busy man. But one of the first questions I want to ask you is, who is Major when he's not on stage?
You know what's wild is I am absolutely the same guy. And
Yeah.
it blows people away because they're like, nah, you can't be Mr. Here I am. I want to help you. I'm here to assure you are good, but I am an empath, one who feels the weight of someone else's um trial and triumph, and feels the
Mhm.
responsibility to respond to it. I'm that on and off the stage. Um, I'm loud. I'm very compassionate. I'm very helpful. I'm very insightful. I am very articulate. I am
Mhm.
Major all the time, and it blows people away when they really get to meet me and they're like, yo, that's really, really him. I've always been that. And growing up, some people are just like, can you just bring it down? And then I started to realize like I just have to understand that it's a pacing of
Mhm.
what I give of myself that really is what people are saying, because sometimes I just give everything and I don't think every moment or everyone deserves everything of you
Mhm.
at one time. And so uh that's probably my only disclaimer or
Mhm.
sidebar on that piece. But I'm Major always. My mama named me that and I just lean into it.
That's gonna be my next thing. A lot of people don't know that's your actual name. It's not a stage name, but it's your actual name. So thanks for bringing it up. Because sometimes artists have alias.
Yeah.
So that's
My
pretty cool
my
that your name.
only the only clever thing I did, Antarius, was I I capitalize every letter
Hmm.
and add a period after it. So when you
Hmm.
see my name as my stage name, while my real name is Major, when it is referring to me as the artist, it
Hmm.
is all capital letters, every letter capitalized with the period at the end. Because my brother, I mean it. I mean that thing. I mean that
Hmm.
thing. And also I want to help the people Google me faster. You
Yes,
go
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
Spotify, you type in Major, you're gonna get Major, Laser,
Yeah.
Major. It's so many others. And but when you type in all caps with a period, you find me quicker. And
Hmm.
yeah, it took me a minute to really accept my name growing up because I it was so different. And
Hmm.
everybody has jokes. And so
Hmm.
I dealt with every joke they could think of. But my mama said she named me Major because I'd make a major impact on the world. That was her prayer. And
Hmm.
so when I
That's
was able
amazing.
to be mature enough to hear that, it shifted
Mhm.
everything for me. And now I'm unapologetic.
Mhm.
Major is who I am. That's my name.
And I think it's safe to say that you've been making a major impact on the world. So mama, like they say, mama always knows.
Mama knows, mama
Yeah.
knows.
So my discovery of your music was through my godfather, Cody Chestnut, who's also an artist. He's like, hey, you need to check out this artist. He's legit. He's like refreshing, and all these different different
Wow.
terms he's using for your music. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check him out. So the first song I heard was with you and Molly Music,
Oh,
and
hit the road.
yeah. So that was
Yeah.
it. And then I was like, okay, yeah, this is tight. This is different.
Yeah.
I can dig this. So of course, over the years, just been following, being a fan of your music.
That
Um,
you just made me happy, brother. Because before I released "Why I Love You," "Hit the Road" was
mhm.
my first official like national single, and that
Yes.
was featuring me and Molly Music on
Mhm,
my first EP, "I
mhm,
Am Major."
mhm.
And I love that song. I love what
Yeah.
Molly did. I remember us going into the studio
Mhm,
with my producer Harmony Samuels at the
mhm.
time, and Molly just bars just started flowing with him naturally.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't write this down, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." And so I've only performed it with him a couple times, but when we did, man, whoa, it was something special.
We might have to tag team that for
Bring it
OKC.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to bring that back. And listen, me and Molly talked about doing a tour
Uh-huh.
together. I think that would be stupid amazing. So
Yeah.
I uh I actually texted with him last night, but
Mhm,
yeah, that hit the road. That was it, bro. That means a
mhm.
lot. You've been with me for a long time then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I want to take it back even further than that. Like, of course, you're from Denton, Texas. How was life growing up in Denton?
I didn't grow up in Denton.
You
I was
didn't?
there for about 2 seconds. I
Okay.
grew up in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
My parents went to school in
Hmm.
Denton
Okay.
at the time. They should have been studying, but they were studying each other. They should have been while they should have been studying science and arithmetic. They were studying anatomy,
Yeah, yeah.
and then Major was born. But
Yes, sir.
I'm from Houston,
Uh-huh.
Texas. So
Okay.
I was raised in Houston
Okay.
all my life, and
Hmm.
so I can't say much about Denton
Hmm.
at all. I just know what's wild
Uh-huh.
is my wife,
Uh-huh.
who is also from Houston. She
Uh-huh.
actually went to the same school that my parents went to,
Wow.
and so that was full circle to
Hmm.
know that I was conceived there, and I meet my wife who's
From
went to
there,
school there. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's wild. Yeah.
That's amazing. What inspired you to even become an artist or creative in general?
I told my mom at 3 years old that I wanted to be a famous singer.
Hmm.
When I started to be really think about it, I said I wanted to be an international superstar.
Yeah.
But I told my mom that I was going to be a famous gospel singer, more
Hmm.
specifically, and
Hmm.
it's wild because God is so clever in
Hmm.
how He puts things together because I never fully mm, became a gospel artist.
Hmm.
However, gospel is what fuels me. It's what
Yes.
informs me.
Hmm.
The word of God, the good news of his
Hmm.
love, and
Yeah.
the truth of it all is what informs me as an artist. And so
Hmm.
while the doors of gospel music didn't necessarily open up to me, and I'm
Hmm.
talking about I knocked. I tried everything, but that wasn't my door. It was
Hmm.
mainstream music. And so it's wild because I'm able to be a light on the other side of this thing, outside of the
Hmm.
four walls. And but that's what I told God. If I cross over, I'm taking the crossover with me. And
Yes.
so I've been able to sing about this God love in so many ways. You listen to my lyrics,
Yes.
that boy know the
Yeah.
word. That boy know the word.
Most definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I have a song called Serendipity,
Hmm.
and it talks about the beauty of love and life coming together despite the uncertainties of their beginnings.
Hmm.
Serendipity. While the world may embrace that just as a word of it just comes together,
Hmm.
I'm referencing Romans 8:28. It's all
Yes.
working together for our good. It all works together. He causes it all to work together. And then I have a new song on my EP, The Hope of My Soul, called For the Win, that
Hmm.
literally speaks to that. So bro, that don't ever get it twisted. Major is a church boy, a choir boy through and through. And that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Of course, since you've been in the industry, like the industry has constantly changed over the years.
Yeah.
So, like, how have you been able to, I guess, stay ahead of the curve? Because it's always, changing. So, how do you believe that you have been able to, stay ahead of the curve so far?
Whoa. Centering myself in my faith,
Hmm.
in my daily practice with God. I try to stay in tune with what the cry of the earth is saying
Okay.
and what God is saying to me while
Yes,
I
sir.
hear.
Hmm.
Um, it's interesting because I think every song that I have is a right now word.
Yes. Hmm.
Like, think about it. Hit the road.
Hmm.
It's talking about the dismissing of any negative that
Hmm.
tries to crowd your space.
Yes, sir.
Any negative person or thing, it's like, nah, you got to kick rocks. Like, because
Hmm.
depression can't live here.
Not at all.
Sadness can't live here. Anxiety can't live here. And while I want to make it very clear, I understand those things can't live here. Those things
Hmm.
do exist.
Hmm.
And so I speak to the truth of dark times do come. But at
Hmm.
the end of the day, it doesn't always have to be dark.
Hmm.
You can literally choose the moment you choose to lock in on the peace of the Lord that is always
Yes.
available, the joy of the Lord that is always your strength.
Hmm.
You choose to turn on the light that in that instant
Hmm.
and you become light. So
Yes, sir.
it gives you illumination to where your feet will know where to go.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, I stay close to God in all of it.
Hmm.
My hope. They call me the hope dealer, bro. I deal
Well,
hope for a living. I
yes,
deal
sir.
hope
Yes,
for a
sir.
living, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And before we jump into the new project, where do you get your fashion sense from?
I'm gonna tell you something. So I was kind of traumatized into being more intentional stylistically.
Okay.
I was about 11 or 12, and I every night on Saturday night, my
Hmm.
mom tells us, get your clothes ready for
Yeah.
church. A lot of us grew up that way
Yeah.
because on Sunday, we're not supposed to work. There's no ironing, there's no nothing because that's work. We should just be focused on getting dressed and going to church. Apollo comes on at night. Showtime at
Hmm.
the Apollo used to be what I always watched. It was before there was an American Idol. Showtime at the
Hmm.
Apollo was my dream.
Yes.
And I used to watch it. My mom would let me watch it, but she says, get your clothes ready first and then you can
Hmm.
watch it.
Hmm.
I didn't get my clothes ready one Saturday, but I really wanted to watch Apollo. And she
Hmm.
says, do you have your clothes? And I say, yes, yes, I have what I'm going to wear
Hmm.
because I mentally could figure it out.
Yes. Hmm.
But I wasn't fully honest. And I don't like lying. So
Hmm.
I'll always figure out a way to say it to where I'm
Hmm.
not lying. And uh so I'm watching Apollo. I fall asleep. It's the
Oh,
next
man.
day.
Yeah.
Church. The iron is always in my mom's room.
Oh
Bro,
man.
I'm trying to figure out where my clothes are. My room is a mess, which she told me to clean in the first place.
Hmm.
So I'm looking in closets and all this stuff. Found some pants that my oldest brother hand me downs, but they
Hmm.
hadn't been hemmed yet.
Hmm.
So they're too long. Found my shoes, couldn't find a belt.
Oh man.
I found a shirt, but I didn't have an iron, but it was a short sleeve dress
Hmm.
shirt. So it was already, short sleeve dress shirts are already interesting. And then
Yeah.
and, and it was wrinkled, but I put it on. I'm trying my hardest to like stretch it out. Um, my mom is like, y'all hurry up. We're late. Get in the car. I run to my stepdad and I
Hmm.
say, hey, do you have a belt? He looks at
Hmm.
me and says, "Oh, you gonna get it, man." And he hands me his belt. You remember when the belts are too big, you had to put a hole in it
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
to find a fork to put a hole in the belt. I get in the car, run
Oh
to the
goodness.
back of the van because there's a lot of us, so we could
Hmm.
kind of hide. I go to the
Yeah.
back of the van. I get out, run into the church immediately before my mom checks us because we're late.
Mm.
I'm on the front row just clapping. Then I notice the choir kind of like stops, but like it was like slow motion. Like everybody's like the energy is weird. And
Mhm.
in seconds, I'm snatched out of the church. I don't know how I ended up from the front of the church to the back of the
Oh
church
goodness.
that quick. I'm
Mhm.
outside. My mom is just going, just like whooping on me. And I'm like, I said, why? What? She says, you embarrassed me.
Oh
You
man.
embarrassed me. And she looks at me, she stops and she says, and I said, I'm sorry. She said, I asked you, did you have your clothes ready? And I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm so sorry. I thought I knew what I was gonna wear. And she says, but you said you had them ready. And I said, I apologize. I'll never do that again.
Mhm.
And she
Mhm.
says, she's not hitting me anymore. But I all of a sudden feel her pain. A
Mhm.
tear comes down her eyes, and
Mhm.
it's a strong one. And she
Mhm.
says they expect a mother of many to neglect their children, but
Mhm.
I refuse to let that be our story. She
Mhm.
says, I take too much care of you all for you to
Mhm.
show up like this and embarrass me like this.
Mhm.
I promise you from that day on, I have not missed a beat
Mhm.
with intentionality on neatness, on style. I fix my shirt a lot. Like, and so it's like it's kind of like my trauma informed me because I
Oh man.
never want to never want to let my family down or
Mhm.
let my story down. But
Yeah.
I wanted to get to the point that I think the moral of it was image. People judge you
Mhm.
based on what they see before they
Yeah.
really get to know you. And
Yeah.
so it's important how you show up. So it
Mhm.
shifted everything for me, and now in retrospect I know that that's what was the real lesson. But
Mhm.
bro, I just got an eye for it. And my and sometimes I'm a little risky where some people are like, nah, I don't know if I do that. But I tell you, a lot of stylists show
Mhm.
me a lot of love. I'll get pointers. I remember Gugu, Erica Campbell's
Yeah.
sister,
Yeah.
Gugu.
Yeah.
She is
It's
like,
dope.
you don't need no stylist. You got it. You
You
understand.
got it.
But I'll ask her, she'd be like, Major, that's dope. That's fire. And my girl,
Yeah.
Shanice Jones, and different stylists, I'll get
Yeah.
their help. And I love when I get some help from some stylists like
Mhm.
a Pouget and
Yeah.
it's a guy named Doug that
Mhm.
styled me before. But I just put it together. I put that sauce on it, bro. And I be leaning in, bro. They be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that boy put it on.
Like I guess we grew up similar. My grandfather was the one that was pretty strict about our attire because he
Yeah.
was a deacon. So it's like you're not gonna embarrass me. So we had the three-piece suits, of course, for the
Woo!
guys, and no matter how hot it was, because I'm from Florida
Right, right,
originally,
right.
so we sweating and everything. Of course, and we'll get to church, got to play the instrument. So imagine playing guitar and drums with a
Right,
three-piece suit
right.
on, all this stuff. So I definitely understand, but
Bruh.
fast forward, it makes me, like I said, Saturday night, you're making sure everything is laid out. Because, like you
Yeah,
said,
I see the
appearances.
intention with you right now. Before we started this recording, I told you, I was like, bro, I see the coordination. I see the coordination and I respect it. I just want to encourage people on that. While we don't want you to lean into the superficiality of
Yeah.
thinking how you look is the end all be all, but
Mhm.
for many people, that's the determining factor of if they will choose to engage with you.
Yeah,
And
for
if
sure.
you want people to engage with you, let the first thing they see be special
Indeed.
because it informs them that if they were intentional about how they dressed in this moment, they're
Mhm.
going to be intentional about how they engage with me in this moment. And so that's free game. Lock in, beautiful people. Stop looking dusty. If you can help it, fix
Yeah.
it. And it doesn't require you having the most expensive clothes because
No.
I literally can have Gucci and Goodfellow, which is Target
Mhm.
brand,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the same time. I think this shirt is Goodfellow. Is that Goodfellow? Hold on, let me. I think it is. See, stop playing with me, and you wouldn't even know.
You don't even
Some people
know.
thought it was it's a J. Crew, but let me tell you something. Major can put it on. It don't matter
Yeah.
how much it costs. When I was broke, they didn't know.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I always tell people, you can make the clothes. Clothes don't really make you.
that's
So
right. That's
yeah.
right.
Um, Want to get into the new album.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, recently you released a body work entitled "The Hope of My Soul." What inspired this masterpiece?
The hope of my soul um was my, let me make this clear, project.
Okay.
I understand that Why I Love You, which has been embraced by so many around the world, has
Hmm.
now gone platinum, is a song that a lot of people met me at.
Okay.
But even as you shared, Hit the Road was something you learned of before a Why I Love You. And I had other things even before then, but at the end
Hmm.
of the day, what Why I Love You did was it put me in this category of like this front runner of R&B. And I
Hmm.
was like, no, y'all, like I'm this church kid that I don't have all the R&B language because I didn't grow up that way. I grew
Hmm.
up sheltered. Kirk Franklin was, my Kanye West for the longest, and so for me, a lot of people kind of expect me to move in the orbit
Hmm.
of Why I Love You only, but they don't
Hmm.
realize Why I Love You is just a piece of the story. And
Right.
so the hope of my soul allowed me to invite all the aspects of my sonics, which is gospel, which is soul. I'm a platinum
Hmm.
soul singer from the
Yes.
church. So you're going to hear the
Hmm.
gospel, you're going to hear the roots, you're going to
Hmm.
hear the Americana, the folk almost,
Yes.
where
Hmm.
it leans almost in a little country, but you're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
hear all of these colors. You're going to hear even the pop, like you're going to hear the jazz. Like I literally am all of these elements. I'm a
Hmm.
gumbo, which I love
Hmm.
gumbo. I love gumbo.
Yeah.
So if you know
Yeah.
somebody that can throw down on some gumbo, invite me to the table. But yeah, that's my reality, bro. What you about to say? Somebody, somebody that can throw down?
Yeah. We was actually probably gonna have that later today.
Ooh, stop playing with him. Hey, think of your brother. Think of your brother. But yeah, the hope of my soul was my gumbo for the people, and I wanted
Hmm.
them to hear message. Really, we have songs like "For the Win" that I talked about, and "Hold My Hand" and "Baby Will You Love Me," which still talks to the
Hmm.
ones you love, but also we have Heaven Now that talks
Yes.
about grief and the
Hmm.
process of
Yeah.
delighting in the transition of your loved
Yeah.
ones, understanding that that is a part of the circle of life. And
Yes.
it is
Most
good
definitely.
because heaven is
Hmm.
better. Joy
Yeah.
in the Battle was my
Hmm.
last big single.
Yeah. I like that
Talking
too.
about choosing joy anyway, bro. I know y'all love it in OKC. Stop playing with them. But I Prayed for You is my new single on that
Hmm.
project, The Hope of My Soul. And
Hmm.
that just really centers everything because you can hear all of the colors in that
Hmm.
and undoubtedly say that's major.
Hmm.
But the message, bro, is timely. And I
Most
wanted
definitely.
people to hear the hope of my
Hmm.
soul.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I know when I first heard "I Pray for You,"
Yeah.
I think I played it like what, three straight times through, and then I think
Wow.
by the fourth time, I really grabbed my guitar and started playing along. It was just that
Woo!
it spoke to me,
You have your
in a
guitar
way
now?
to not right now, no, no.
Oh man, that would have been cool for us to have a moment. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I was like, the the structure is simple, but it's impactful. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's not a lot of chords going on, but at the same time, from the intro to the outro at the end, it's just like boom, boom, boom. It's touching you in different ways. So I had to forward it to some of my friends who really love good music. Man, I
Bro,
probably would
I
have got like
thank you.
20 calls.
Bro, it's kings like you that make the difference because
Mm,
you get it. I
mm,
think even both musically and
mm,
content wise, that's my intention. Not to overcomplicate, to
mm,
give you the sense of profound and
mm,
necessary and important, but to relay it simply
mm,
because I think that that's what life is. Oftentimes we get caught up in thinking because it's a big thing that it should be a difficult thing or a complex thing, but it doesn't have to be. And
mm,
so I think I do have a gift at saying the heavy things or the big things in a simple
mm,
way. And it's really, really dope that God
mm-hmm,
has gifted me with that, bro. And I appreciate you even receiving it from the musical side of things.
because I love all your stuff, but I think this is the album that's really gonna like explode like
Wow.
in a major way.
Wow,
Just
bro. Thank you.
just just like I said, I've been sharing with different friends of mine who really loves good music, and the consensus has been, oh, this is what's needed right now. This is because like as you know, every song tells a story,
Yeah.
and each song everyone can relate to.
Right.
And like I said, everybody I've been sharing with just been like stuck on that, stuck on it. So it's like, and I have some friends who are very critical, like when it comes to music. Like sometimes I'll send them something, yeah, this it's okay, or they say, oh, this is good, but so far everybody like, yeah, this is excellent. This is definitely a true masterpiece. So kudos to you and the team for creating this wonderful album. Um, I
Thank you,
want to
bro.
I want to transition a little bit, if it's okay with you. Uh, it, Throughout your life, I want you to think back over the time, including now. What has been the biggest obstacle you had to face in your life as well as your career?
Woo.
Also, how did you get through it, or how are you getting through it?
Well, one of the things as a hope dealer, hope, I've said with the H, hope. So we're clear. As a hope dealer, oftentimes people think that I've arrived to the mastery
Mm-hmm.
of the wisdom that I share and I give. But I am an ever evolving student
Yes.
of life. And one of the spaces that hits me the most is my feeling worthy. Am I worthy of these moments or of the dreams that I aspire to fulfilling and unfolding and
Mm-hmm.
living? And
Mm-hmm.
that has been a big hurdle for me perpetually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in that I have to also know that rejection in my journey is not a statement of you're not qualified.
Correct.
Rejection oftentimes is God's usage
Mm-hmm.
to position you and redirect you
Mm-hmm.
in the direction that will get you to what is for you. And
Mm-hmm.
so I used to attribute rejection to worth,
Mm-hmm.
and those don't really have the same connection. They don't have to be connected. Um,
Mm-hmm.
any stage and any space that destiny brings me to
Mm-hmm.
is a space that I'm qualified for
Mm-hmm.
because of grace.
Yes, sir.
That's why they call grace amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So the lesson that I've learned is that grace has already qualified me. So show up fully in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I got to remind myself this, but it does help me.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it helps the listener today that if the stage is before you, if the room is before you,
Mm-hmm.
you're qualified to show up full in it.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you balance? Because I know you're feeling man as well, but how do you balance like your personal life with your busy uh, entertainment life?
Um, I actually, I actually want to do a better job at it,
Mm-hmm.
but I try to include my family and people
Mm-hmm.
in these spaces. Like I
Mm-hmm.
try to include them in my journey, and as I would also like to be involved in their spaces as well, because a lot of times people separate these things, but when you're an independent artist or an entrepreneur, it
Mhm.
actually blends into your world and your
Mhm.
everyday space. So it's key to have partnership with family and people that
Mhm.
understand that this is going to show up as well
Mhm.
in even the intimate spaces, but understanding that you should not always invite it to be in every single space. And so I try to remind myself, like, as a married man, we have these things, this understanding of love languages, where
Yes.
we have
Mhm.
different love languages. And I have three, and one of mine is physical touch and
Mhm.
words of affirmation
Mhm.
and gifts.
Yes. Mhm.
Those are my three. My
Mhm.
wife's are um, quality time
Mhm.
and words of affirmation.
Mhm.
And so I have to make sure that I'm leaning into the quality time and not just being like, well, she gonna get this physical touch, because that's what
Yeah.
I need for the love,
Yeah.
like or she gonna get these gifts, that
Mhm.
I give her,
Yeah.
and so it's just being intentional there and
Mhm.
understanding that the love languages is real even beyond the intimate relationships. It's
Mhm.
anybody in your space, they require love and affirming in
Yes.
different ways.
Yes, sir.
You like
And
that?
yes, sir. Most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And how do you protect your mental health? Because in our community, um, I would just say a lot of brothers they don't like to talk about mental health. They don't like going to the doctor and all this stuff. So, like, how do you, I guess, stay on top of those things? Like, make sure you're good mentally, because you got this person pulling you that way. Hey, we need this song from you, or hey, we need you to go perform here. Like, how do you just take care of major?
This is the key. I do something that I'm about to encourage you to do with me right now. Let's take a deep breath in. Let it out. All right, take a deep breath in. Bring it all in. Let it out. There's a surrender that we achieve when
Mm-hmm.
we take a deep breath in.
Yes, sir.
Because what it does is it agrees
Mm-hmm.
with being present in the
Mm-hmm.
moment. Oftentimes, anxiety is a influx of emotional commitment to things
Mm-hmm.
that haven't yet happened.
Mm-hmm.
Depression is an
Mm-hmm.
emotional commitment to things that have already happened.
True.
Being present is literally your safe space from
Yes.
both depression and anxiety. And so, for the
Indeed.
brothers that are watching that find it difficult to find peace, you
Mm-hmm.
find it by getting still.
Yeah.
And it's actually a powerful move to
Mm-hmm.
disrupt the push and the rush of life by
Mm-hmm.
deciding to catch your breath. Because what you do is you tell fear, doubt, responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
expectation, stress. Nah, you're going to submit to me catching my breath first because I need to be able to show up well for whatever the next moment requires
Mm-hmm.
of me. And you
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to ever show up well unless you take a moment to catch your breath. So,
Most
to the
definitely.
brother, to the mother, to the daughter, to the sister, to the father, to the friend,
Mm-hmm.
catch your breath. That right
Most definitely.
there relieves you of the responsibility
Mm-hmm.
and it opens you up to receive the gift of what God is intending to equip you with, that
Mm-hmm.
you be prepared for whatever comes next.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I
Go
think it's
ahead,
really
bro.
going to help. No, I was just going to say I think You know, breathing, just taking a moment to breathe will help a lot of people because a lot of people don't even think to even do that sometimes. Like,
They
wait,
don't know.
take a second. You know what I mean?
It
So,
really hits you. And I'm talking about
yeah,
not the because I'm talking about the deep breath where you take it all in
yeah,
with your thoughts, and then you
hmm
give it right to the hand of the Father and
hmm
watch how life becomes easier. That's how you get to joy in
hmm
the battle, in the
yes, sir,
victory.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
And so, before we go, I did have some fans sending some questions for you.
Okay.
So
And it's
let's,
kind of rapid fire or what?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I bet.
So the first one is, what are your hobbies outside of music and anything else? Like, what are some hobbies that you do just to relax or have fun?
Going to the movies
Okay.
with someone or alone.
Okay.
Uh Finding super clever clothes.
hmm
Um I what are some other hobbies? I like to eat good food.
hmm
Uh so that gumbo I'm still thinking about. Um
I'll make sure you put that on your rider when bringing you
yeah,
you
and you
guys here.
don't have
So
to put and you don't have to add okra. You don't have to add okra because not everybody know how to make it without it being super slimy.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
um but yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And the second one is, in your opinion, what was the most impactful moment of your career?
I've had a lot of impactful moments, so I'm big on counted it all joy.
hmm
Uh, but I will say when Stevie Wonder discovered my song "Why I Love You"
Yeah.
and had the audacity to call me to tell me about it, I was like, "Stop playing with me." And I didn't answer the first call because at the time I hadn't made money yet from the song, so every you never know if it's a bill collector. And
Yeah.
so now I'm not running for bill collectors, thank you God. But Stevie
Amen.
calling me to say, and I remember his voicemail when I didn't answer the first call, and he says, "Sorry to bother you. This is Stevie Wonder." And I'm like, "Stop playing with me." But yeah, Stevie calling me,
Mhm.
yo, I need to see if I still have that message.
Oh, that's what I was about
Yo,
to ask you. I was about to ask you, did you say
I have my old phones. Let me see if I still have it. I just
that?
thought about that. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty wild. Um,
Mhm.
and that hit different
Mhm.
because I to be affirmed by a legend was wild. And then what's
Mhm.
crazy, 2 weeks later, Patti LaBelle did the same thing. And
Wow,
then
that's
it
crazy.
just kept happening in ripple effect. And I'm like, okay, God, you're a show off, and I love it. I love it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, we partner with Stevie's radio station in LA.
Oh, KJLH. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then I also do promotion for Radio Free Voices, the choir, as
Oh
well.
wow.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
that's pretty cool that we
Tell
we
them,
both
tell them,
connected to.
tell them you met Major and you love his song. I prayed for you, which is
Yes,
available everywhere. Beautiful people, go
yeah,
get that. That's a new hope anthem. We need it
yes,
in
sir,
these times. This
yes, sir.
political climate has really shooken up a few folks, but
hmm
I want you to realize that while you can acknowledge the discomfort of it all,
hmm
never fail to acknowledge that God is your present help in all of it and that he is the greater power that has the
hmm
final say. And
Yes, sir.
he can even make the wicked work together for your good.
Yes, sir. And then I have one final fan question someone
Okay.
sent in. They want to know when you're doing your sets, what is the one song you must include of yours?
Well, that's kind of crazy. That's wild because clearly I'm gonna sing the money maker, which is why I love you. I gotta do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but right now, like that, I prayed for you. I was, even before it became my official single, I started adding it on my sets because it just gets people right there. But
Yes,
before
sir.
that, I had a song called My Future. Ah, I love that one because that's a tone
Another
setter.
banger. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tone setter. Some people sometimes they think they need to call it a day, but I really don't
Mhm.
mind because all that doubt just get in the way. Ain't
Yeah.
never been caught up in the things they can't see. Ain't never been one to care if they don't believe. I'm saying I see my future and I don't
Yeah.
think it's telling me wrong. What? Stop playing with my boy. Stop
We
playing
got
with
hits
me.
on top of hits.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. I
Yes, sir.
got stuff that maybe a lot of people don't know about yet, but
Mhm.
catch up with it. Catch up with it,
Yes, sir.
y'all.
Most definitely. Before we go, how can well actually let me back up. What's next for you? Um
Stop playing. This tomorrow,
mhm.
okay? On Friday.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, yesterday we had the network premiere on BET of I
Mhm.
Prayed for You music video. But on
Mhm.
Friday we get double for the
Mhm.
trouble. It not only does I Prayed for You music video go worldwide, you can catch it
Mhm.
on YouTube, on my YouTube
Mhm.
channel at Now That's Major YouTube.
Mhm.
Um, you can also catch my new Christmas movie, A Heart for Christmas, on
Nice.
Roku and Pluto TV streams.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, bro. I'm co-starring in a film called A Heart for Christmas. It's
Mhm.
really, really good. It's funny. It's dramatic. It's so good
Mhm.
all around. Shout out to Maurice Hall, the
Mhm.
writer and director and star of the movie. But it's incredible. It's got Taja V.
Mhm.
Simpson from The
Mhm.
Oval, and
Yeah.
Nikiva from Insecure. But it's really,
Mhm.
really good. And your boy Major is in it. So yeah, go check that out on Friday. Double for your trouble.
Yes, sir.
You get the world premiere on YouTube of I Prayed for You, and
Mhm.
that's the world premiere of the music video, and
Mhm.
a heart for Christmas everywhere.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And for the promoters that's listening, how can they book you?
Go to Now That's Major Team at
Mhm.
Gmail, or click contact in my on my Instagram at Now That's Major. It'll take you there. Or go to my website, nowthat'smajor.com, and click
Mhm.
booking. My people are very responsive.
Mhm.
You won't, they're very